Hello, everybody. I'm Stuart Noakes, the head of tax at Carpenter Box, and what I'm going to touch on today are the measures in the budget, the spring budget of 2024 that affect businesses and companies. And I think my summary is that there are very few measures that affect businesses and companies of any great interest. There were, however, a year ago, there were some changes to the rate of corporation tax that were quite significant. The main rate of corporation tax increased from 19% to 25%, so that was quite a significant increase, has had quite a big impact on businesses for the last 12 months. So perhaps one of the most notable things to report is that there is no change to that main rate of corporation tax. It is still 25%. There is a small profits rate of 19% that continues, but that is only for profits up to £50,000. So yeah, for businesses and companies in particular, no change to the main rate. This change in the main rate a year or so ago was offset to some extent by something that is called full expensing. And this is the tax treatment of capital expenditure on certain items of qualifying plant and machinery. The old system of capital allowances gave you tax relief for the cost of that capital expenditure, that plant and machinery, over a number of years. And what full expensing means is that a business gets full relief for the costs of that capital expenditure in the year of expenditure. So full expensing gives you full relief up front. So as I say, this was an offset to the increase in the main rate of tax, but really only benefits those businesses who are looking to reinvest their profits in certain qualifying capital expenditure in the business. There is a small change that was announced in the budget yesterday that they are looking to extend this system of full expensing for plant and machinery that's acquired for leasing purposes. This was something that was excluded from the measures that were introduced last year, but there is going to be a consultation to see how they can bring that in going forwards. So, what that ought to mean for those affected businesses is that they will get earlier tax relief for the cost of that plant and machinery. What else is affecting the world of business and companies? Well, one, there is at the smaller end, there is an increase in the VAT registration threshold to £90,000 per annum. It's a relatively small increase, broadly in line with inflation. So small businesses do not have to compulsorily register for VAT until their turnover exceeds this new threshold of 90,000. There are some modest changes that will affect those businesses that are not carried on through companies, either sole traders or partnerships. Now, the big headline announcement, if I could call it a tax cutting announcement in the budget yesterday, was a decrease in the rate of national insurance. This will also apply to national insurance, class 4 national insurance on self-employed earnings. So this can be when you're working in a partnership or as a sole trader. The main rate of class 4 national insurance was scheduled to fall from 9% to 8%. It's now going to fall a further 2% to 6% with effect from the 6th of April. So it's a welcome measure for workers. So whether you're a self-employed worker or you're an employee, you will benefit from this national insurance cut. There are a couple of other things that indirectly affect business that I bring to your attention. One is the announcement that there is going to be a new British ISA or UK ISA. It's primarily aimed at savers. so that they can, ISAs have been around for for a very long period of time, and this is going to be an additional opportunity to save, on top of a general ISA, that an individual can invest up to £5,000 per annum in a UK ISA, and these investments will be in British companies. So that may work its way down to our client base of owner-managed businesses, and the like. But it's something that might affect British business. And finally, I touch on an area of business, furnished holiday lettings. For many years there's been a special regime, really treating those companies and individuals who carry on the business of furnished holiday lettings. They've really been treated in much the same way as a regular trade for many years, and benefiting from all of the allowances and reliefs that trading businesses benefit from. This is going to end from April 2025, and furnished holiday lettings businesses will be regarded in the same vein as conventional property businesses and not considered to be similar to a trade. So those people that have got holiday homes that they let out, etc., will be affected by this measure. So that is really my roundup, short and sweet, of measures that were announced yesterday that affect businesses and companies. On one level, you could say it was quite a dull budget in that respect. Now, that may be a good or a bad thing for business, depending on your view. There are a number of measures, as I say. It's really this, I suppose, this change in corporation tax that came in a year ago, and this full expensing for capital expenditure, that the big changes that businesses are getting to to grips with. But if you do need to speak to an advisor about any tax measure that you think is going to affect you, please feel free to give your regular Carpenter Box contact, me, or any one of our tax team a call. We'd be delighted to speak to you. Thanks very much.
This is Carpenter Box. Thank you for watching our budget reaction video. As you know, there's a general election this year, so don't forget to like and subscribe in order to stay up to date with all the latest changes.